nice to see you all again. I hit a milestone last month. It officially became more than half my life that I've lived in Australia. That is longer than I lived in my home country, Sri Lanka. And it's a weird feeling, folks, because I gotta be honest with you, when I grew up in Sri Lanka in the 90s, I hated Australia. Can anyone guess why a kid in Sri Lanka in the 90s would have hated Australia? Of course it was the bloody cricket, my God! Do you remember how you behaved? Boxing Day Test Match 1995 when umpire Darrell Hare called Murali a chaka? Ruined my New Year's Eve that year. And I hated all of you, all the cricketers, and one in particular that I hated the most, sadly has passed away since, so I genuinely mean no disrespect, but it's just the truth. When I grew up, I really disliked Shane Warne. Now, I know, but hear me out. It was because he was one of the greatest bowlers of all time, maybe the greatest of ever, GOAT, if we will. But also, I found out that my mum thought he was cute. And I would hear about it every time he started to bowl. And that's annoying. As a 10-year-old, I'd be watching him going, oh my God, not only is this guy capable of destroying Sri Lanka's batting lineup, Warnie might root mum. And I didn't want that. I love Australia now, though. I do love, of course I do. You know, I've got through the whole citizenship process. If you've never been through the process, what happens is you've got to do a citizenship test. Then you have a ceremony. At the ceremony, you get given two things. You get given a certificate, send it your Aussie, but you also get given a gift. I got given a wattle tree plant. Now, I did not know what to do with my plant because I live in an apartment. So I ended up accidentally doing the Aussiest thing I've ever done, which is on the day of the ceremony, I took my certificate, I took my plant, and I went out on the piss, and I lost both of them. Like a proper fucking Aussie! That's when I knew I truly belonged here, you know? And I worry about this half and half thing that I have for my little niece, Isha, right? She's half Sri Lankan and half Indian. And I only met her when she was 2 years old because of the pandemic. And when I first met her, I was scared about not bonding with her because, you know, she's never met me. But I shouldn't have worried because she's an only child. And she has that only child level of entitlement. You know what I'm talking about. You know, she just showed up, walked into my room because she's learned to open doors like a fucking velociraptor. And she walks in, up to her uncle, who she's never met, never, walks up to me and goes, Isha has come, clap for Isha, clap for Isha. I'm like, what kind of freaking narcissist is my brother raising? She's just walking into rooms demanding that people clap for her just because she's arrived. Then I realized, to be fair, that happens in my job every night, so. I would love my niece Isha, I do. But she's a bit too Indian. Thank you, good night. No, let me explain, because I can feel your collective buttholes just clenching up. Just relax. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with being Indian. It's just a bit too much sometimes. The same way there's nothing wrong with being Aussie, but let's be honest, you can be too Aussie, right? There's the right amount of Aussie and there's too much. Take politicians. Bob Hawke, great Aussie. Bob Katter, too Aussie. Paul Hogan, great Aussie. Pauline Hanson, too fucking Aussie. Bali, too Aussie. Dandenong, too Sri Lankan. So the same way there's nothing wrong with her being too Indian, it's a bit much. You know what I mean? Like she's vegetarian. She breaks out into song and dance out of nowhere. She's on YouTube arguing with Pakistanis. Like it's a bit too Indian. Like she's meant to be half Sri Lankan, but there's no Sri Lankan in her at all. Even when she throws a ball, her arm is straight. Put some Sri Lankan shit in there. Have a great festival, everybody. Thank you so much. See you.